What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mekhi back in the building. Feel me? Now, today we have a recommended video, The Truth About Prime Larry Bird. And for the people that wants to see that Muhammad Ali, we gonna get there. Hold on. Let me just get to this Larry Bird right quick. We're gonna learn more about Prime Bird. Now, if you guys enjoy what I'm doing, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Please recommend some videos that you guys want me to see in the future. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
At the other forward, in his 7th year from Indiana State, number 33, Larry Bird.
He was the toughest player I ever had to guard and I had to play against. And the reason for it, he's 6'10". Hit the three-point shot, he can post you up, and he can see over the top of you at 6'10", so he can always pick you apart with the pass. And he was a great rebounder as well in putting the ball on the floor in the open floor.
A lot of young kids was going to be a great athlete. Well, that's your first mistake. A great athlete gonna give you a lot of oohs and ahs. Great basketball player gonna beat you every night. That's who.
That's a good example of what he just said. Like, that's the difference between a player like Ja Morant and a player like, who's a player now that just won Anthony Edwards. Player like Ja Morant, a player like Anthony Edwards. Like Ja Morant, he's a highlight player, highlight guy. You know, a lot of the stuff is just flashy, but he's not really one of the best point guards in the league. But a guy like Anthony Edwards, he wants to beat you. Like, he got that dog mentality, like that OG. That's all I'm trying to say.
Very well.
Give the basket to Willis. Bird, great up fake.
Hey.
If they can keep up this tempo, Atlanta, Dominique is going to have a big night.
Bird's game is so simple. I love it.
Back at the Hawks. They go low to Bird. Gets the double team. Wants it.
If you were writing a book about basketball, the piece I saw would merit a chapter or two. But ask any basketball expert, and they'll tell you that if you're rewriting the story of basketball, the author, Larry Bird.
When it comes to the career of one Larry Joe Bird, he's universally regarded as one of the best players of all time, most impactful, as well as influential. For guys like Bird, Magic, and Jordan, what they did in the 80s and 1990s cannot be underrated. Now, one thing that can be underrated is those guys' overall skill sets. And looking at Bird first and foremost, a lot of Bird's stats and numbers, yes, they are available, but the more advanced analytics, advanced numbers simply didn't exist and they weren't tracked.
And I have seen, like, his stats alone doesn't really depict how great Larry Bird really was. And I'm starting to see that. I'm really starting to see that.
That's a damn shame.
Now, luckily for you guys out there, I'm a basketball psychopath who loves NBA history. So looking at Larry Bird, I did the past month, I watched the entire 86 playoff run, 18 total games, and tracked all of Bird's advanced stats, metrics, and data nobody's ever thought to uncover.
I love that he's doing this. So now I have more knowledge on how he was in the 85-86 season, because everybody be like, oh, Michael Jordan scored 63, but he lost the game. Do you know who he played against?
Well, we're waiting.
So when it comes to 86 Bird, this guy undoubtedly one of the best players of all time, and in my view, the best small forward peak we've ever seen. As Bird at this point was a 3-time MVP all consecutively, one of the best shooters in the game, passers, rebounders, as well as fourth quarter players. And looking at his postseason run, if that wasn't impressive enough, Bird's overall production went up come playoff time. As that year's playoffs, 25.9 points, 9.3 boards, 8.2 assists on impeccable shooting splits, along with 2.1 steals. Larry Bird's raw stat numbers were highly impressive. As looking through NBA history, at 25 8-8 playoff runs, this run 86 was the first of its kind. And since that date, only 3 players since then have joined him in this elite company, that being Jokic, Doncic, and LeBron James.
Not bad.
Now, where Bird really separates himself is in the efficiency category. As their high volume playoff runs at 54-90 splits, there's only 3 of them. Bird 86, Kawhi 2017, and Kevin Durant in 2019.
I'm not gonna lie, a 50-40-90 split is so impressive. Because it's rare now. Like, people don't do that. Bird did it a lot.
Why Larry Bird's so unique and so special He can stuff the stat sheet like Luka, Jokic, and LeBron, but maintain efficiency who has like Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard, who are primarily scorers and not asked to pass the ball nearly as much.
But Peterson may have nightmares guarding Larry Bird.
Ooh, good pass.
He's going to go one-on-one. Oh, my goodness.
Trying to back in on Woolridge. Finds McHale cutting for two, and a great pass by Larry Bird.
And they did in game one.
Bird had the ball in good position and found the open.
Peterson, and then they forget about McHale, let him roll easily.
Like, players like that are so dangerous when they got the ball and they're looking for a guy. Like, that's it. It's very dangerous when he's able to get guys involved. Like
the hoop. When you get the ball in Bird's hands, anybody that has a half a step on his defender is going to get the ball.
And for guys like KD and Kawhi Leonard, they're regarded as great elite scorers who have phenomenal jump shots. Someone like Larry Bird, yes, we know he's a great jump shooter, but we don't know just how great he was, of course, until now. And looking at 86 Bird, he was pretty phenomenal. In this playoff run, on jump shots, 48% at over 220 attempts. When you look at LeBron, KD, and Kawhi Leonard in postseasons, who took at least 200 jump shots, here's their overall numbers in comparison to Bird. LeBron, in his playoff career, 8 separate times took 200 plus jump shots. In those runs, not once close to 48% and peaked out in the low 40s. Someone like Kawhi Leonard only one playoff run with 200 plus jumpers in 2019. That percentage, 43.8%, well below Bird. Now looking at Durant, 7 separate years of 200 plus jump shots. Out of those 7 seasons, only one of them was higher than Bird, as a majority of KD's seasons are in the high 30s, mid 40s.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
So Larry Bird right here compared to 16 different seasons from LeBron, KD, and Kawhi, only one of those seasons out of the bunch tops Bird from 86. And it being Durant, honestly isn't that shocking, as Durant the jump shooter is absolutely phenomenal and lights out.
Yeah, Kevin Durant. I love Kevin Durant's game.
The same vein, Larry Bird was equally as good, if not better, most seasons.
To see the game to come to this point after 30-some years, and teams are taking 35, a lot of them over 30 three-pointers a game, some 50. I just never anticipated that.
Teams are taking 50 three-pointers a game nowadays? Interesting.
I never shot that many. I've always used it at the end of the game. If you're down 1 or if you're up 2, you make a three-pointer, demoralizes the team.
Celts up by 3. Parrish gets it back to Bird, who takes a three-pointer of his own. Gets it to Walton. Bird's three-pointer. Oh, he bangs in another one.
I tell you, I played with him. I coached him. He would be a great one.
Another home run. Here it is. A three-pointer. Bird walks off the court.
In the 1980s for Larry Bird, taking threes, yes, it was acceptable, but it wasn't widely pushed as the primary weapon for offensive player. And for Bird, he wasn't just a three-point shooter, a long-range guy. Larry Bird's offensive game was at all 3 levels. Larry Bird in the mid-range, 56%. Catch and shoot shots, 48%. All post-ups, 64%. Fadeaways, 57%. And left-hand shots, 69%.
Right back at the Hawks. They go low to Bird. Gets the double team. Wants it.
McRae on Bird. They isolate him one-on-one. Celtics like that situation. And a left-handed shot
against McRae. He knows McRae is going to come back to his right hand. And he shoots it lefty to confuse him a little bit.
Working against McRae now. Works his way in and gets the basket.
Bird fighting through McRae. Larry Bird, who attacking his right hand, forcing him to his left. He can shoot lefty, but he'd much prefer to shoot righty.
Beautiful.
Larry Bird, the scorer and shooter, could do it in a variety of ways from a variety of spots on the court. And actually the go-to spot was in the mid-range, the in-between game. And look at those numbers, 76 of 135. Not just great volume, but also great efficiency. And looking at the rest of NBA history, since '97 the tracking data began, 125 players in this time period took 100 more mid-range jump shots in a single postseason run. Out of those 125, only 7 of them are above 50% shooting. And looking at the top 5, it's definitely pretty telling. 5th place, Durant 2012. 4th place, Durant 2018. 3rd place, Durant 2021. 2nd, Larry Joe Bird. And 1st place, Steve Nash 2005.
Most impressive.
Sorry about that. We're back here.
So once again, Larry Bird the shooter in some pretty great company. In the small forward position, a notch better than Kevin Durant at his absolute best. Now, staying with Bird's shot making, looking at catch and shoot jumpers, Bird in this playoff run was 48 of 100, exactly 48%. Tracking data for catch and shoot shots goes back to 2014. During that very selective time period, 41 players have taken at least 100 catch and shoot jump shots in that run. Out of that list, Bird ranks 4th all time at that 48%. The guys ahead of him, Al Horford, Klay Thompson, and Jokic.
Julian cheated way in.
See,
Jokic's gonna throw it up from
this was, I got a question for y'all, man. How would Jokic have played back in the 80s? I want to hear it from y'all in the comment section. How would Jokic have played back in the 80s? Because this right here, if he's doing stuff like this, man, how would he have played in the 80s? Let me know.
Nikola Jokic. I would love to play against him.
Now, the last big part of Larry Bird's game was post-up plays, back-to-the-basket plays. In his playoff run, total of 52 attempts with 33 makes. If you look through all of NBA history since 2014, 74 players all-time have taken at least 25 post shots in a single playoff run. Out of that list, Larry Bird comes in 5th place with the highest percentage, only behind Siakam, Embiid, Tim Duncan, and then John Collins.
Big men.
So that right there for Larry Bird in 3 different areas is the upper echelon of his peers in recorded NBA history. That again in mid-range shooting, catch and shoot jump shots, and post-up jumpers.
Reed starts out on Larry Bird, and his fall away is
Bird with 4, 3, 2.
That one.
Harris tries to go along the baseline, kicks it back to Bird. Bird fires, Bird hits!
I think he's almost created a different basketball type. He's a power forward and he's a quick forward, and he shoots like a guard. He's a creative guy.
Pointer no, Walton the rebound. Bird looking for his first basket. That's it.
When you depend on your superstar to get you 30 a game all season long, and all of a sudden, Bird.
When he's matched up against Rollins,
Bird.
He was special.
Larry Bird, the individual scorer and shooter, the most versatile player in league history, who is at the top of the class in nearly every single category. And ask yourself the question, how do you guard prime Larry Bird?
No idea.
Put a small, quick defender on him like Mitchell Wiggins. What does he do? He bullies them, gets around them, an easy layup. Put a bigger defender on them, then it's finesse game, pump fakes, get you out of your shoes, easy layup, easy jump shots. Then the final fail-safe, the athletic defender has speed, quickness, all the intangible tools on paper. Even guys like that, Dominique, Terry Cummings, Orlando Woolridge, them guarding Larry Bird, they're absolutely helpless.
Okay, but my question is here. How would Larry Bird have played against guys like Kawhi Leonard? How would he have played against a prime Scottie Pippen? Not the early stages from 91 and 93. I'm talking about that 96 Scottie Pippen, or the 94, 95 Scottie Pippen whenever he was top, he was top in MVP. How would he have played against a guy like that, a primary defender like that? How would he have played? Let me know.
Minutes played in the game. Give the basket to Willis. Bird, great up fake.
If they can keep up this tempo, Atlanta, Dominique is going to have a big night. Dominique fell down.
What I've been told, Dominique wasn't really a primary defender, so.
Takes it. Got it.
Doesn't score a point.
Bird working on Wilkins.
Oh, that was a foul.
Yes.
Helping to create this win.
Bird.
Just torching him. Get the switch.
36 for Larry Bird.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Yeah.
So that right there, Larry Bird torching players were faster, stronger, more athletic, the better players on paper looking at physical metrics. And again, Larry Bird, the scorer, where's his weak point on the court? He can shoot threes mid-range, he can post up, he can catch and shoot, and he has to shoot free throws, is at 93% on the season.
Perfection.
Larry Bird being so flawless offensively, really having no weak points, made him a big-time threat in the fourth quarters, one of the best clutch-time players the game's ever seen. And looking at 86 Bird in the fourth quarters and clutch time was pretty mind-boggling. In this run, 6.5 points per game, 2.1 dimes, 56% shooting, 64% from three, and from the line, 85%. Those shooting split numbers right there are completely absurd and they are video game-esque numbers. But again, to compare to all of NBA history, it becomes even more impressive. As looking at recorded history, since '97, there's 48 playoff runs where a player averaged 6.5 points per game in the fourth quarter or more. Out of those 48 runs, only 15 of the players shot above 50%. And Larry Bird, he was in the top 3. Wow. The only guys ahead of him, Ant Edwards last season.
Anthony Edwards is actually, wow.
And Giannis in 2021.
My teammates knew at the end of the game if it's close, I was going to take the shots. They knew that.
Rockets have not crumbled. They've hung in there with Hakeem on the bench. Bird going up. And a tie score. 12 ties and 16 lead changes tonight. Walton, who's been there before. Bird for 3 hits, and the Celtics lead by 3. And who else but Larry Bird?
Yeah, they kept coming back, and Bird hit the big three-pointer at the end to sort of give us the cushion we needed.
Larry Bird right there in the fourth quarters by the raw numbers, one of the best players of all time, if not the single best pick for a player in all of league history. But here's the added detail, those 2.1 dimes. At first glance, that might not seem like much, but looking at fourth quarter plays, that number is absurdly high. I mean, look at this list. John Stockton, Rondo, Kidd, LeBron, Luka, some of the best point guards, point forwards in league history. So Bird for fourth quarter scoring and fourth quarter passing is absolutely elite, the cream of the crop. But here's the one big detail. Unlike a lot of point forwards, many Luka and LeBron James, what does Larry Bird not do? Handle the ball 24/7 and be extremely ball dominant.
Pushing from the rear. Walton gets in.
And I was gonna say that he always moving. Like, just because he passed the ball does not mean that he's done with the play. He's gonna continue to keep moving. Like, that's a very dangerous player. That's one of the reasons why Stephen Curry nowadays is very dangerous. Because just because he gave the ball up, just because he's cutting and went down, does not mean that the play is over for him. He's gonna come back up. Let me know.
You know, the Celtics have been around this score for quite a while.
Look at that.
For Boston. Bird, easy layup. Celtics with a very impressive third period here in game 2. Bird, what a pass from Dennis Johnson.
I think he's thinking too much. And normally he would just catch that basketball and just dunk it or go in for the easy shot.
The game of basketball is pretty simple if the ball's moving.
Sure.
Now, the point guard can do whatever he wants to do. Instead of dribble from one side to the other, back and forth. But he's an initiator. And if he gets that ball moving, that ball's moving, everybody feels a part of it. It doesn't matter where it ends up because it's always going to end up to the best player. You know? Sometimes that always happens.
Yeah.
But
ball has energy.
That's right. And you get that ball moving, and good things happen all the time. It's a pretty simple game if you play it the right way.
Perfect until now.
Once again, I apologize. Technical difficulties, but we're back into it. Let's go ahead and continue.
Six running. They have a chance here. 4-on-2. Bird to Parrish.
Ooh, that was a powerful dunk.
It's a bad shot by Moncrief.
Out that way. Boston 2-on-1, and Webb is back.
Bird is on Lloyd now, doubling on Sampson, and takes the ball away. 3-on-1 for the Boston.
You know, there's one thing that I've noticed about the difference between the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers around this time is, like, when it comes to the Celtics, it looks like the ball is on a string for all 5 players. Everyone's sharing the sugar. Everyone's getting some love. But when it's coming to Magic and the Lakers, it's like stuttering. It's like why can't I talk? It's like the Lakers their captain is Magic, and Magic is just running the floor, and he's basically the quarterback. He's basically the quarterback, and he's just dishing it. But on the Celtics, it's like it's on a string. I like that. I like that.
Up ahead, Bird finds McHale.
When you have a selfless superstar like a Steph Curry or Larry Bird who don't need the basketball, the team's overall ability, their heights, get raised exponentially. And looking at Boston and Larry Bird's teammates, whether it be a Johnson, McHale, Parrish, heck, even a Bill Walton, those guys with Bird in his system were definitely maximized at their full absolute potential. Now, looking at Larry Bird's off-ball stats, his dribbling stats, these are pretty staggering and shocking. As looking at Bird's field goals made, a total of 171. Out of those field goals, 86 of them came with 0 dribbles. That's over half. 41 of those field goals only with 1 dribble, 19 of them with 2, 23 with 3 to 6, and 7+ dribbles, only 2 made field goals.
Boston Garden crowd. Larry Bird trying to get the Celtics on track. Bird over Banks.
Bird, Walton, Ainge, and McHale. 5 men on the floor for KC. Great pass by Walton.
Bird got into
the most effective players can score without dribbles. Remember that.
Dueling passes, and the rest thought it'd be fun. They came along with it.
4:20 to go here now in the third. Bird.
Yes, sir. For a young player to come in and get in the finals, doesn't understand the pressure.
When discussing the best point forwards in NBA history, of course you have guys like Luka, LeBron James, and then a Larry Bird. But the way guys like Luka and LeBron played was much more their show, their story, their hand on the joystick. For Larry Bird, a much more unselfish player who allowed teammates to thrive and do their own thing. Now, with that being said, Larry Bird, the point forward, the passing forward, in my view, the best of all time.
Away from the Rockets.
Level hits a 3-pointer from the corner. And Ainge, releasing the other way, gets 2 of them back.
The Rockets still tentative.
These 4-foot passes that Larry Bird used to do, insane.
Parrish, Ainge's 3-pointer. Tapped by Bird.
Oh yeah, them tap passes too. I love what Larry Bird does.
Teams, their offensive rebounding, and Bird does it better than anybody, keeping it alive. Nice little tip down to McHale.
A couple of games and staying in the game. They haven't turned the ball over, but we haven't pressured their guards. They're vulnerable, especially when
across the court passes.
Center in college.
They say even at that time, they say that making those type of passes is a very you don't make those type of passes because they're very dangerous. They're easy to steal, and as you can see, it looks like Bird is being very efficient in those.
Danny Ainge on the other way.
To the basket. Bird just hit him with a screen, then gets it back to McHale.
Hey!
Only 20 points in the second period. Is Larry Bird. Good pass back to Kevin Mekhi.
Wilkins outside with Bird. Bounces back to McHale.
DeMont.
Wilkins has got Bird.
McHale's left alone.
none of them can shoot that well from outside where they should be going there.
Nice. Power forwards.
Bird looking for the open.
Great pass. Great pass.
Bird just
Bird.
Oh, he could have shot that one. Oh, he just showing off. He could have shot that one.
Bird finds Parrish.
Much like Bird's scoring ability, his passing ability, he could slice and dice from anywhere on the court with a variety of passes. And for guys like Dennis Johnson, Walton, McHale, I mean, he had insane chemistry with those guys, threading the needle, throwing lobs, and full court dimes on the money.
Well, is he good, Kramer? Oh, he's the best.
Now, for modern day fans looking at Larry Bird's passing, what they go to immediately is the stat sheet. For Bird's career, only 6 dimes per game, which in today's era is a mildly impressive number, but nothing staggering that jumps out as super impressive. And this raises a clear-cut example of stats being misleading. As looking at the modern era of basketball, the way assists are counted is completely fraudulent and wrong compared to the 1980s.
High up and Bilal right now knocking down his first 3.
Lead is 6 for Washington.
What game is this?
Johnson.
Familiar, right?
Yep.
Last game. 40 assists on
I
44
like this
made
though.
field
I
goals.
like this type of basketball.
You're smart.
Hey!
Beautiful.
Oh, that was nice.
Over 19.
He had 17 points back on February the 5th against the Wizards. He was 3 of 9 from 3. Middleton got his hands on it and gets the steal. Bilal hustling back to get the basketball for the Nets. Here's Claxton trailing. Now trying to work on home. Sean driving the baseline.
By the way, none of these plays are assists.
Muscling his way inside.
That's terrible.
So stopping that right there, every single one of those plays, an assist was counted and given on the stat sheet as a legit assist. A guy.
Wait a minute though, before he gets to that point, I've seen John Stockton. A lot of his assists wasn't assists either. Y'all better, hey, y'all OGs better go back to looking at John Stockton, because even though he's number 1 on the all-time assist list, a lot of them assists wasn't assists.
2 or 3 moves after catching the ball, that's an assist. For someone like Bird in the mid-80s, specifically 86, only averaging 6-7 dimes per game, what does that do to? Not Bird being an inferior passer, but the scorekeepers being much more strict and stringent on what's an actual assist. For an example of this, look at Game 1 versus the Hawks in the second round. Bird on record officially only had 6 dimes, but he watched the game, very clearly had 8.
Loose Ainge, bounce pass, beautiful to Bird in the middle. Here's DJ.
The illegal defense.
That's not an assist, yo. That's not an assist, by the way. There's a time limit to the point where it's like it's not an assist no more.
You're going to get the ball, not only get it, but you'll get it in a perfect situation to score. Just like that. I think he's thinking too much. And normally he would just catch that basketball and just dunk it or go in for the easy shot.
Parrish. Wilkins outside with Bird. Bounces back to McHale.
He and Moses Malone just seem to get all loose balls.
McHale scores coming inside. Bird, still another rebound. Johnson breaks free.
There's the Boston break in the air with the...
No, I think, me personally, if you have the possession of the ball for a certain amount of time and you take a certain amount of dribbles, it should not be credited as an assist. Now, obviously, if you get in the ball and you fumbling it and then you get possession and then you shoot it and make it, I think that's just counted as an assist.
I rest my case.
So that right there is clear-cut proof the old saying, numbers never lie, is indeed a pretty big falsehood. As looking at Bird right there, very clearly 8 dimes, what we got credit for was only 6. And you might say, looking at that, well, what's the big deal? Only 2 assists, they missed a measly 2. Well, not the case, and it is a big deal. Looking at the entire 18-game playoff run Larry Bird, his official assist count was 8.2. But if you add in the non-credited assists what it jumps to, is 9.8. And again, why is that important? In today's era, looking at stats and numbers, a 1.6 jump is a monumental deal for all your advanced metrics, which fans nowadays are absolutely in love with. And looking at that year's NBA Finals versus the Rockets, Larry Bird's official assist count was 9.5. Still very, very impressive. If you add in the assists that weren't counted, what it jumps to is 11.5. Mainly official record books, Larry Bird's assist count ranks second all time among Finals MVPs, only behind Magic and just ahead of Jordan in 1991.
What are you doing? I'm writing this down. This is good stuff.
So that right there for 86 Birdie, pretty good breakdown of his offensive game, shooting, and a little nuance that made Larry Bird the great player he was. But the one knock on Bird everyone always says is, on defense, he was subpar, and athletically, really couldn't cut it. And when someone says that, what they're really telling you is they haven't watched Larry Bird peak Larry Bird. As saying this guy was slow, cut and jump, is just false watching the film. As looking at this year's playoffs, the guys Bird guarded were one Sidney Moncrief, an elite point guard, someone like Kevin Willis, a 7-footer, Randy Brewer, who's 7'4", and then on certain switches, would guard guys like Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon and really hold his own pretty well.
Field gives the Celtics that 4-point lead again. Olajuwon fighting for the loose ball, and he lost it thanks to...
I really think Larry Bird, his defense was his his strongest ability was that off-ball defense. That was really where it separated him. Like where he was really like that. He was a net guy, basically, you know, to get into them passing lanes, get on the blind side, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that he couldn't guard on ball. I'm just saying that his specialty was off ball.
3-1-21 Chicago in overtime. Jordan.
Bird got a hand on it. Here he comes. Bird cuts off Jordan at the baseline. They turned him loose, pushed him underneath the basket. The ball, a pass out, hit the net.
Whitman and Webb in the backcourt. Inside Livingston throws it away.
He isn't blessed with a great deal of jumping ability, but he's blessed with knowing where to put his body. He puts his body on the right part of the floor to defend. He has great anticipation.
Jordan up the floor for Chicago. They trail by 10. 2 remaining in the quarter.
McRae has McHale in his face. Bird against Olajuwon.
Oh.
Great play by Bird.
Sampson guarded by Bird, but Bird doing a good job against him. Traveling called against Rouse.
Very aggressive defense.
Brewer was trying to post up Bird down low. He still is. Bird out on Cummings.
It forces the offensive players to move without the ball.
The Celtics are playing scintillating ball. Go to work. Center. McRae knocked away.
So look, when it comes to Larry Bird, the defender, was he Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, just locking guys down 94 feet? No, of course not. But Larry Bird, the defender, wasn't a negative on that end, and his overall team defense was a big-time plus. I was watching a ton of those clips. The way he gets in passing lanes, double teams, his help defense is top-tier, A-plus defense. If someone says Bird couldn't play defense, didn't play defense, what they're based on most likely is how he looks. If you know Larry Bird, that's the worst mistake you possibly make. As offensively, people did the exact same thing. And what happened over and over and over again? This quote-unquote slow, unathletic guy cooked them time and time again. On defense, kind of the exact same story.
They have a 4-on-2 opportunity. Lloyd to Sampson. And no basket.
And to go to the half. Bird, the quick hand.
Both of them have bounced around the rim and just haven't.
Bird the steal on Davis.
Great defensive anticipation by Bird.
Lister's got Ainge in a switch down low. And Bird saw the pass coming to Cummings.
He's on the weak side. He's looking, steps out, knows that it's going cross court, just steps right back in. That's what you talk about, the computer mind of Larry Bird.
Bird again to reach in.
On Creighton. This is why Larry Bird's a great defensive ball player, because of his weak side and his team defensive play.
We don't know whether Walton will play in this game. Bird knocks it away. 6 on the shot clock. Hastings, good pass to contact, and a great block inside.
Whitman. No changes for the Celtics. Dominique. Blocked by Bird.
If you watch 86 Bird, the defender, there's no way he's a subpar defender, even average defender. And look at the numbers, they back it up even more so. 86 Bird, the regular season, first in defensive win shares. I repeat, first out of the entire NBA. Defensive plus minus, 9th. Steals, 8th, and finished 11th in all defensive team voting, 1 vote shy of making second team. Now look at the postseason, nearly identical. Defensive win shares, 2nd. Defensive plus minus, 3rd. And for steals, he ranked 6th.
Watched by McHale. Bird coming over to double a lot. So they're in the scoring drought with 4 minutes and 46 to go. Hakeem Olajuwon double, throws it right into the hands of Bird. There's a 4-on-1 break for the Celtics. And Ainge. Bird steals from McRae. Double with McHale. Peterson goes to Wiggins there. Rockets.
We're in sudden death playoff at the Kemper Open. We'll update.
Some great defense by Larry Bird. You know, he's forcing them to shoot from outside, getting in front of Olajuwon.
Hakeem knocked away by Bird.
The inbound pass.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these defensive plays looks like how Michael Jordan used to get a lot of his steals as well.
Much too late, and here's Bird comes over at the last instant and knocks it away.
Time on the shot clock. Olajuwon with Bird doubling.
In the third, as they did in the first half, and another Rocket turnover.
And Ainge was practically taken off. But here's Bird hustling. I'll tell you, inspiration, there it is. When he goes down on the floor, the rest of them will fly through the building.
So that right there is the end of the video, and I'll say one last thing. When looking at the best small forwards and the best players in today's game, all these guys in one degree or another have a big time flaw in their arsenal. For LeBron at his peak, he was an athletic demon who could dunk on anyone. What was his big time flaw? Free throw shooting and his outside jumper. Someone like Kevin Durant at his peak, one of the best scorers of all time. But what were his 2 weak points? Leadership, passing, and rebounding. Then Kawhi Leonard. This guy's a two-way player, was phenomenal. But what's the one trait he lacked severely? Passing and playmaking, and being an upper echelon leader like a Larry Bird. My overall point is pretty simple. Larry Bird in his day in '86 was a 5-tool player who could do it all. He could score, pass, rebound, play defense, he could lead a team, play off ball, shoot the mid-range 3 to free throw, and hit a game winner if need be. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.
We need to start putting more respect on Larry Bird's name. Larry Bird was like that. He was like that. I might need to do a greatest of all time list. Bleacher Report just did a greatest of all time list. I think they put Larry Bird at like Larry Bird actually wasn't even top 10, which is crazy. But I think I might have to do my own little list. Let me know if y'all want to see that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Recommend some videos you guys want me to see in the future. Until my next video, man, I'm going to catch y'all.